Today I wanted to show you a few new items that I've got. I've got foundation, I've got concealer to try. I have a new eyeshadow palette, I've got new mascara. So let's start. Right, I've got this. So this is Dermablend Flawless Creator, and this is not a foundation as such. This is multi-use liquid pigments. It comes in a bottle with a dropper. Mine is in 40 neutral. And I was quite intrigued. I was just, looking on internet, and I love foundations. This will make you look flawless. So this is very interesting. They call it powerful makeup. It's blendable, buildable and customizable. So if you apply one pump, you get very minimal coverage. If you apply 4, you get full coverage. Also, you can mix it with your skincare to make it into like a BB cream. And this has 33% of high performance pigment. And I feel like this is a secret to foundations for mature skin. You want very, very thin, watery foundation, but with a very, very high concentration of pigments. So because we do want coverage, we have uneven skin tone, we have sun damage. So you want to cover it, but you don't want to look cakey. So in this instance, the coverage comes from the pigment, from the amount of pigment that is in it, not from the thickness of the product. So some foundations are very thick, they might not have that much pigment, you have to apply loads of it to get any coverage, and that will look cakey. I have already tried it 3 different ways, and I will tell you all about it. All I have on my face is the Skin Diva Vitamin C, E and Ferulic Acid Serum and the Beauty Pie Featherlight UVA UVB Sunscreen SPF 50. First of all, you need to shake it really well. It's very, very watery. I don't feel like the dropper actually works. Yeah, I've picked it up, I'm squeezing it, and there is nothing coming out. So I tend to just wipe that dropper on my face. This is oil-free. This is very much silicone-based, so it spreads amazingly. I'm going to do it with a brush, but I have also applied it before with my hands, just like a moisturizer. You can go with it under your eyes because it's so light, but I won't because I've got this concealer to try as well. Look how quickly that evened out my skin, and it doesn't really look like a foundation. It looks very, very natural, and I'm just doing really, really tiny smudge. I'm going to put some on my neck to even out my redness on my neck. So this is what it looks like, just that one minimal amount of foundation. Obviously I don't have anything under my eyes, but I think it looks so good. It just looks like skin. Let me build it up just a bit. I haven't used it with a sponge because I don't know, I'm sure because it's so thin, the sponge might soak it up. I like the new foundation from MAC because it gives me very similar effect, but that one somehow is thicker and is quite more difficult to spread out, and I love something that spreads out so easily. So yeah, that looks really good. So I have tried this with the Lily Lolo mineral powder to set it with, and that started looking like a foundation, because obviously Lily Lolo is a foundation as well, just in powder. I've tried it without setting, as I've been doing lately, and it was absolutely fine, held out all day. And today, what I might do, I will leave one side not set, and I set one side with powder, just to show you, because I know we still like setting with powder. Okay, this concealer, Hourglass Vanish Concealer, I am not sure, but I think I might have bought it before, but the color was so light because I chose it online that I gave it away. So I got this sample with one of my Sephora orders, and I got there was 4 samples here. I tried the sepia and it was too light, because I also think that the older you get, your concealer should match more your foundation. They'd be like 2 or 3 shades too light. That will just emphasize any bags, any imperfections under your eyes. So I have here also Sienna. I might try this. So even though I think I've bought it before, I never really tried it because it was so light. This one looks a bit dark. So that is Sienna. Let's try it. Yeah, that is a bit darker, but I don't mind it. I might just maybe mix it slightly with the sepia. See, I can never get just right color of anything. I have to always mix things. There. Feels very, very creamy. I know this is not new, but this is obviously new to me. I think this is quite thick, has good coverage, and that could be a problem. I might have to get my sponge and soak up a bit of it, because beautiful coverage, but you know, with mature under eyes, yes, it will look lovely on a camera, but in the daylight it will look a bit cakey. I think Sienna will be really good for me in the summer when I've got tan, but the sepia is too light. I don't know, is there anything in between those two? Beach, maybe that one. So there is sepia, then apricot, beach, and sienna. Maybe beach. Well, that looks really good. Let me zoom you in. I don't know how this concealer will hold up without powder. I might set it just right under my eyelashes. But yeah, look at the skin. I think this looks pretty flawless, and I am in really bright lights. It's quite miserable outside and dark. There is no sunshine, so it's really dark, and these lights are so unforgiving because you can see everything. In a normal light, this would look even better. Okay, let me now just set one side. I will set this side. I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this powder. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Translucent Powder. This powder is amazing. It's huge. It's obviously not very expensive. It's very finely milled. It doesn't really show up on your skin much. It's a lovely, lovely, affordable powder. It's not completely white. is sort of very, very light beige. Now I definitely have to set both of my brows, you already know that, because I don't want my pencil to slide and my eyelids as well. So, you know, from the last video about me not setting with powder, I've been doing it, but I somehow miss it. I don't know, it's like, you know, it's like not putting your knickers on before you put your trousers on. It feels really weird. And like I said, if I'm filming or if I know I'm somewhere inside, then I don't mind powdering, or if I want to make sure that my makeup really lasts, I still will powder, but for every day I don't. And this is as much as I powder. It's very, very minimal. So you can see this is a bit more luminous. This is a bit more matte now, but not too matte. Yes, this definitely, of course, if you don't powder, your skin will look more like skin. But it's so difficult, isn't it, with the powder thing, when you've got mature skin. If you powder, because of your textured skin, it might settle in, the powder gathers in your lines, fine lines, and can look cakey. But then if you have texture and really open pores, if you leave that luminous, that's going to emphasize it. So you need to powder a bit. It's very, very difficult. Anyway, I am going to go off and do my brows, and then I'll be back. Okay, brows are done. I don't have a new bronzer, but I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Glowish. Do you remember I bought the number 2, I think, like the little size, and I really loved the texture of it, but it was a bit too light, so I got the 03 Tan Light, and I really, really love this bronzer. It's very smooth. Do you know, when I don't powder, I usually use cream bronzer, but I cannot get on board with cream bronzers, cream blushes. I still prefer powder. When I use powder blush, I use one with slight sheen to it, so it doesn't look too matte, and I feel that it looks just as good as cream one. This is BK Beauty 104 brush. So I've just applied this on a powdered side. Right, let's see, on non-powdered side. Have to be very gentle, use very, very soft brush so you're not moving the foundation, but it's been a while now since I put that foundation on, so it seemed to be going on okay. I think it's gone on better on the powdered side, because, you know, powder looks better on powder than on cream. So yeah, it definitely looks nice and smooth on the powdered side. I think on the non-powdered side is a bit patchy. Right, you might remember I bought from P. Louise the blush, cream blush in, what is that one? Melon Mood. It is a bit light. It is very sort of baby pink. I will apply this here just to show you. See, it's very, very light pink. It's a gorgeous blush. I mean, the quality of it and how it applies, but it's very, very light. But I just wanted to show you, it's really nice. It's got that sponge on the end. But I also have bought the new Too Faced Cloud Blush. They've just come out with those cloud blushes, and mine is in Golden Hour, and that has slight sheen. It's lovely pink, a bit similar tone to this one, but it's obviously a bit more intense, and I love this blush. There it is. It's so pretty. I might get more of those blushes in different colors. It's just gorgeous. It doesn't look cakey, you know, really thick. It's very, very lovely. You could even say that that was cream blush. I'm going to put it on the top of that one because this one is not dark enough. Okay. Yeah, I really, really love this blush, and as much as the cream products give you youthful look, I cannot get on board with them that much. I love the Charlotte Tilbury ones, the Glowgasm, I really love that one in Pinkgasm, but I still have this fear that, you know, my hair keeps sticking to it and it always looks patchy at the end of the day. Someone said, why don't you set it with the setting spray? And I always forget. And I love this Charlotte Tilbury, and I love the Morphe one, and I hardly ever set my makeup. The only time I remember to do it is if I've powdered too much and my makeup is looking a bit cakey, then I really spray it a lot with this to help it melt together. But you can set anything, so I am going to set this. Ooh. Oh no, I didn't bring my fan to fan myself with. So that's the face done. Let me zoom you in. So this is the powdered side. You still can see a bit of glow, mind you, this is a bit of glow from the blush, and this is the side that I haven't set. Can you see how much more glow I have here? And I actually have here, I don't have loads of texture or big pores, but here, because I have normal to combination skin, I get oily like here and on my chin. But I think it looks really lovely and flawless. I love it. By the way, these little clips, I always put some funky clips in my hair. These are really, really old. I bought them in Claire's Accessories. I bought like lots of different colors, so I can't give you a link to those. So you might remember I bought this palette from P. Louise, and this is from the Love Tapes collection, and this one is called Team Bright. So it looks like an old-fashioned cassette, and here is the palette. Beautiful, beautiful colors, so I thought I'd do a look with it. I think some of her eyeshadows are pigment, so and I think they meant to be used on the top of her eye base. You know, she is famous from those eye bases, but I don't have that. You've seen me what I do with my eyes. I put a bit of foundation on the top of my eye, then a bit of concealer and powder it. That's my base. It's really nice because if you're someone that wears very delicate makeup, you could just use that top row. And if you're someone like me, you would obviously use this one, and you can mix them together. Now the shimmers look absolutely amazing when you swatch them. But when you try to apply them on your eye, they don't seem to, with the brush, they don't seem to have the same effect. They sort of come off as toppers. So the best thing is to apply them with your finger or with the brush, unless you just want that wash of shimmer. I think I will start with Save the Date on a Rifa 01. And just put it in the crease. It's like a peachy color. I like peachy. Yeah, it's really nice. I keep using that little switch from Sigma. This has changed my life, honestly. I don't wash my brushes after every use. I just rub them off on that and I can keep reusing my brushes. Now I will go to Bride or Die, and I'm using Hulu P66. This is not very easy brush to get. They don't look to me that pigmented, which on one hand is good. They are pigmented, but you have to build them up. But I think I've seen someone showing how to use her eyeshadows with the eye bases. And once you apply the eye base, and you're not supposed to powder it, just leave it like this, the colors really pop on that. They blend really nicely. I really like them, and I don't mind them not being that pigmented straight away, because it gives you time to blend it out, you know. Sometimes if they are too pigmented, you put big blob on and you can't take it off. This comes off quite pink, I suppose, appropriate for bridal makeup. Then I'm going to go to Friends for Wife, this darkest one, with the same brush on the other side, and I will just apply it right on the outer corner. Rifa, where's my Rifa 15? There it is. Blend the edges. Now I'm going to go to Dream Team, and I will try first with wet brush. I've got here Sonia G Werka Pro. I will wet it with Morphe setting spray. This one has like chunks in it, and really press it. It's gorgeous. It gives you that wet look. And now let me do it with my finger. Oh my goodness. Yes, if you want the full-on effect, do it with your finger. This looks like glass. This is gorgeous. But of course you get fallout from it. So you could use some sort of glitter glue, because it's falling out. But that is gorgeous. Looks like an ice rink. Yes, you know what a sucker I am for sparkle and shimmer. Then I will take Rifa 28, and in my corner I will apply the I Do Crew, this shimmery light one. Now let's see how that works dry. Yeah, that is not too bad, but it is more like a wash of shimmer. It's very pretty. So yeah, this one shows up much better dry. So you could wet it if you wanted more intense, or use your finger, but it shows up fine dry. I might apply a bit more of that really dark one, Friends for Wife, again right here. Okay, on my lower lash line I will go to Bride or Ride. It's hardly showing. I will actually go to the dark one, Friends for Wife, and I will blend it out maybe with the lighter one, but I might not need to, because like I said, unless I build it up, it's not that dark. You know, you can see how dark it is in a palette, but I am applying it right now, and unless you build it, like I said, that could be a good thing for some people. Got fallout from that sparkle. I think even when it's on your eye might be falling out, because I seem to have more fallout now. So you definitely would need to use it on some sort of glue, and I'm not here for it because I don't want to be using glues. I just want my eyeshadow to stick to my eye and not go anywhere. Okay, well, it's a pretty look, my type of look, but to be honest, this palette is nothing special. The sparkles are pretty but have a lot of fallout. The mattes blend beautifully but are very buildable. They are not that pigmented, cute packaging, and they are not too expensive, so it's your choice. Now, I also got a sample of Milk Kush mascara. So it's a sample size. It is quite fat brush, very tightly packed. I'm going to use it today. You know, I usually use that layering technique where I use 2 different mascaras, and if you haven't seen that video, I will link it here. But I'm going to use this on its own and have a look, because if it's good on its own, it will be even better for layering. So normally that type of brush would be my second mascara. I like the consistency of it. It's not too wet. It's nice. I wouldn't say it's very, very black. You know, sometimes your mascara is so black, and I like that, but very, very buildable, builds up so nicely. Look at that. It's really nice. I like it. Might have to get a full size of it. My lashes don't look the best. They're getting better because they have gone through their cycle. So I'm at the new cycle where a lot of them fell out, and now they're just growing back. To me, this is just not black enough. But I know a lot of you quite like that, because a lot of you use brown mascaras as well. I want my mascara as black as can be. Very, very nice, very buildable. You see how many times I'm going over it, and it's not clumping, it's just making my lashes look thicker. Yes, I like the mascara. I don't have anything new for my lips. I got those lip oil and lip gloss, I think, from P. Louise, but they don't really have any color. Really nice products. So I'm just going to put on, I've got Morphe lip liner in Crush. I don't know if these are still available. But I bought a while ago quite a few of those Morphe lip liners, and I really like them. And Delilah lipstick in Whisper. There. Right, my lovely, so that's the finished look. I absolutely love my complexion. It does make you look flawless. This looks beautiful despite those bright lights. So in a normal light, it looks even better. Again, like I said, when I've used it with the Lily Lolo Mineral Powder Foundation, it looked a bit more like foundation because it does give you more coverage. Without, it looked lovely all day. It didn't slide off my face. This is oil free, but it has a lot of silicone in it. That's why it spreads out so nicely. And today you can see this is the side with the powder and this is without. I've used minute amount of powder and that powder is so good. So I can see slight difference. I'm definitely more glowy on this side than this side. And in a daylight, I would choose the side without powder because it definitely looks more like skin. But I really love it. So, like I said, nothing will ever replace, I think, my Delilah Alibi foundation because this is like my holy grail and it has been like that for, I think, at least 2 years. But I do find some other foundations that I really like and are good for different occasions. You know, I might use something different for the night out, something different for daytime. And this is another one of my favorites. I would really, really recommend to try this. I don't know how it would work on a very oily skin, but I can't do that for you because that's not what I have. But I wasn't getting oily with it throughout the day in my T-zone when I didn't set it. So it's worth trying. And the rest, I love the mascara. Absolutely love the new Too Faced Cloud Blushes. I quite like the concealer. It's looking good, you know, so far. I might get that concealer. With the palette, it's a very pretty palette, but nothing special. So I wouldn't say don't buy it because it's a awful palette. It's a nice palette, but you know, for someone like me that's got hundreds of palettes, this is nothing special. But then the price is really good on it as well. Sorry, I can't actually remember how much it was, but it wasn't very expensive. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And maybe you would like to watch this one next. This is my review of the Delilah Alibi foundation because if you're new here, you know I talk about it all the time, but maybe you haven't seen the review of it. But that's all for me for today. Thank you so much for watching and stay fabulous. Bye.